Everybody, welcome into the 9 p.m. stream, the second of two streams that I do each and every day here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. The first one is High Noon. That's current events driven. That's hot topics, headlines, and anything that everybody is talking about. That comes on at noon Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And it's essentially designed to provide you with some sort of a cheat sheet for your day. So you're not running around bumping into people and them saying, "Did you hear about?" And you going, "Well, no, I didn't." You can say yes. Yes, in fact, I did hear about that because it was one of the topics covered on High Noon with me, your humble host, Pugs Moran. It's topic, hot take, on to the next. Topic, hot take, on to the next. That's the first of two streams that we do each and every day here. The second one, we like to call it Pillow Talk. It's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. And it's myself and James Parker. Hi, James Parker.
Good morrow.
How are you?
I'm trying to bring back morrow. That's a word that used to be popular in the English language, kind of fell off, and I'd like to hear more of it.
Okay. All right. Good morrow.
I'm on it today, man.
I'll start using it. Let's see. Hold on. I got a little bit of a late start. I was doing some things. There's some hot breaking news, James, that was just coming across my plate moments before we signed on here. Chris Rock has taken the stage in Boston, his first stand-up appearance of any kind, his first comments of any kind since the slap. And we'll have that for you. Just stay tuned on tonight's Pillow Talk. We'll tell you exactly what Chris Rock had to say. Hi, Tartan Sauce. Hi, DeBob. Hi, Byron. Hi, Jeff. Come on, fill up the room. Looking a little bit light. I know it's my fault.
Do some invites and shares, guys. Invites and shares.
Yeah, Byron, I love you, brother. Every single day you like Hi, John. Every single day Byron likes the Twitter announcement of the show. Never once shared it. Doesn't bother share it. He likes it. He's, hey, I like this, and I'm keeping it all to myself. Click. Well, I appreciate the like. The sharing is the important part, folks. The sharing and, the support, the listener-generated support that we use to continue this stream. But it's enough.
No, sharing is what you would do if you really like this, if you really love this, if you're not a selfish, self-centered, lazy a-hole.
No, you'd Venmo a check for like $1,000 if you really like this. That's what you'd really do.
Did you say Venmo a check?
Yeah, I said that. I did. And I knew when it was coming out, it felt weird. It felt wrong. It felt incorrect.
I'm going to fax you an abacus.
Every day we like to start the show with a little thing we call the monologue. James Parker does it every day. He works hard on it or not at all.
Not really.
We're trying to figure out exactly how this gets put together.
I'll work on it.
But he likes to give you a quick little rundown of all the things that are happening, kind of a microcosm of what I do on the High Noon Show. James, are you ready for your monologue?
Can I be on the main screen here instead of the side-by-side? Can we do that?
My God, what a prima donna.
I know, dude. I want all of the screen space I can get.
There.
That's not my preference. There we go. See,
do something. It'll work.
Bro, I'm so handsome. You got to do it.
All right, here we go. The monologue. It is time for the monologue. 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Comfort Nest Lounge high atop the 1%er compound in beautiful sunny Highland Park, Texas. It's James Michael. I'm not feeling all that inspired. James Michael Parker.
Why did you say that?
Michael?
Yeah.
Because it's usually something exotic, and I didn't have it in me today to come up with anything exotic, and Michael was the first name that popped into my head, so there you go.
That's literally my middle name.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So there's your first joke, boom.
I didn't know that.
Why are you kicking off the monologue? I tell the jokes around here.
All right, let's continue. Here we go.
Where's my music? Band. Chop, chop.
Oh, we gave you music. You just had your music. You didn't hear your music?
Oh, I thought you kept it going in the background. All right, never mind. So according to TMZ, Chris Rock didn't know when he made that joke. He didn't know that Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from alopecia, the condition that causes hair loss and infidelity. I like that one.
I like that one.
The U.S. Supreme Court will consider rules on the humane treatment of pigs. So finally, some good news for Pug's mom.
Oh, come on. Hey. You know what? No, we're stopping that one short. I was just pre-programmed to hit the Cena on that. I should have hit the booing. I'm sorry, Mom. Continue.
And it was on this day in 1981, John Hinckley Jr. shot President Reagan. Sadly, here it is 41 years later. Jodie Foster still hasn't noticed. Did it work? Happy birthday. I saw you on the High Noon show. I know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. He's going to, yeah. He's going to be like, can't touch this life alert necklace. No. MC Hammer. I don't want to say he's getting old, but he has a new song called Too Legit to Nap. Too Legit to Nap.
Interesting that you went with MC Hammer when you could have gone with Celine Dion. Because, you know, my prediction for Celine Dion was, I'm not
Stop
saying-
it. Happy birthday to Celine Dion. I don't want to say she's getting old, but she has a new song called My Diaper Will Go On. You need a little more practice. You're getting there, though. Also, happy birthday to actor Warren Beatty, 85 years old today. According to his biography and Pugs' rumor mill, before marrying Annette Bening, he slept with over 12,000 beautiful women and also Carly Simon. Oh, I didn't know if they'd like that. That was a mean one. I didn't know.
Whoa, she may not have aged well, but no, I disagree with that. 1972 Carly Simon was, come on, man. Besides,
well, the studio audience is on my side.
Do you know where she comes from?
Nope.
She is the heir to the Simon and Schuster fortune. So, you know, Warren
Oh,
Beatty,
the publisher, huh?
Yeah, her dad was the
Yeah,
Simon
I saw a book once. Yeah. Happy birthday also to Eric Clapton. Do you know his birthday, Pugs?
I did. I knew it was his birthday.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's getting old, but he's got a new band these days called Derek and the Bingos.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. He's on the wall.
Oh, it's this year. All right. And you're not going to guess this one, though. Finally. Happy birthday to pollster Scott Rasmussen. He's only 66 years old with an margin of error of plus or minus 3 years.
It's a polling joke.
Statistical probability punchlines.
All right, a couple of little breaking news stories today. We just want to touch these off before we get into our whatever it is. I'm going back to the way it's supposed to be. There it is. Bruce Arians, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has announced his retirement. He is he's not gonna keep going. He is done.
Why would he? He has Brady coming back. What the hell's he doing? He has Gronk and everybody. What is going on?
I don't think he wants to deal with Tom Brady's nonsense anymore. I think that he's like, he's coming back. I'm out of here. I thought this was going to be a nice where I could actually coach, and maybe if we win, I would get some credit.
Right.
Coming back. God.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So now Todd Bowles is the new head coach. He has to deal with it.
Wait, more importantly, what color is Todd Bowles?
Todd Bowles meets the criteria set forth in the Rooney Rule. Todd
Bowles.
Oh,
thank God. Boy, we dodged a bullet there, didn't we? We almost had a white guy succeed.
There's one. There's actually,
if we could only take all the other white guys out, then finally we'd have diversity.
We've got two since the scandal, the Brian Flores scandal. I believe two, maybe three, but I think two. We got Lovie Smith down in Houston, and now we've got Todd Bowles there with the Bucs. I think there was another one. I think there's another. Well, the guy in Miami says that he identifies as black, but I don't know if my grandpa would identify him as black. You know what I mean? He looks.
Is he like Rachel Dolezal black? Or
yeah. Yes. Exactly. Okay. Here, I'll show him to you since we're on this.
Who is this dude? What's his name? Do I know him?
No, he came from San Francisco.
So, okay. So I probably haven't seen him. Nah. But see, I feel for those people because I have a grandfather who's Hispanic. And when I say he's Hispanic, I mean he's dark brown and he's short and he has black hair. And I have an uncle that has all those phenotypes, my mom's little brother. And she has a little sister that's also really dark, black hair and everything. It kind of skipped me, but okay, whatever. If I could pull it off, man, I'd be pulling it off too. If I was passable, I would be dropping this white card first chance I get.
Really? Would you now?
Yeah, and it sucks, man, because like Cory Booker, he has the dark skin, but he has the light eyes, and chicks like the pretty eyes. And I would rather have the pretty light eyes and the darker skin instead of what I'm stuck with, because that would probably make me more handsome. Yeah, he's passable. He can pull that off. Sort of a Sean.
He looks like a white guy to me.
Yeah, this is Sean King. You know that dude, Martin Luther Cream.
Oh God, yeah, that guy. That guy's trouble. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess you can check the box, but I love
Well, look,
black dude.
I know what the actual rules are because I had to jump through them. I was looking through them really hard in college to see, because I have one actual Hispanic grandparent.
Oh, you mean
if I would qualify for loans for minorities. And the rule is, look, if you're 100% minority, of course. If one of your parents is a minority and the other one is a white person, you're in.
mhm.
If one of your parents is half minority, half white, and the other parent is white, you're not in, which is what I am. I'm on the cusp.
That's what you are. Yeah.
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 So, but here's the other one. If one of your parents is half minority and the other parent is half minority, you're in.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that makes a whole. Two halves make a whole in your book.
Well, two quarters make a half.
Okay.
And that's not my book. That's the Department of Education rules.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I am not. I am 100% white guy. Although the version of white guy that I am 100% Irish. We are known as the worst kind of white person. Apparently, we are.
No, that's the Italians, isn't it?
No, they're not even white. Italians are not white people. Italians and Spaniard, they're not white people. That's
then go tell it. Go tell it to the admissions office. Go tell it to the affirmative action.
I'm just saying, Greek people, they try. Yeah, this is all.
They're white.
No, they're not. These are my grandpa's rules, right? This is my grandpa's rules, and Norwegian is probably at the top of the white European list, and then you go down from there. Finland, Germany, that whole thing, and then you get to the very bottom, and it's the dirty, slovenly Irish who they're like, okay, fine, they're white, but they're trash. They're the worst. So I'm like the worst variety of Irish person. And that's probably why my grandpa wouldn't acknowledge Italians as Irish people or as white people.
This sucks, man, because I had the chance to get other phenotypes. Like my sister, when she stays out in the sun all day, she gets nice and tan. She comes home looking like Elle McPherson. I come home looking like a tomato. Like I burn. Look at me. I'm burnt now.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm Scotch tape. I have the complexion of I'm translucent.
Yeah. And I have one kid that has the dark skin too. Like we were all out all day on Saturday, and one of my kids didn't get a sunburn.
Are you sure he's yours?
Yeah, right.
I got one kid. He's got dark skin and a fro. He looks more like my neighbor Jamal than he does me.
Looks just like the postman. What's up?
Yeah.
It's funny though, because trying to have these conversations with your kids is adorable because they're so innocent. And so they were trying to get us to explain like what was going on the TV with the racist thing. And it's like, well, there's people who are darker who don't get treated as well. And my daughter said, "Oh, you mean like Atticus?" I'm like, "No, not like Atticus. not like that. I mean for real darker."
My son is attracted to non-whites. I mean, which is good. I mean, so am I. I mean, a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman, but I'm banking hard on having a mixed race grandbaby. I'm really thinking that we need that in our gene pool. We need a little, because come on, like I said, I'm Scotch tape. I would love a little grandbaby with a little fro or a little something. I think that would be fantastic. So when my son said to me, he said, I'm kind of attracted to black girls. I was like, yes, follow that path, dude. Follow that path. And then, bought him a bunch of Beyonce and Rihanna posters, and we're off to the races.
Well, that's the fun part about America is it's not only are we just a mix of everything, like you can go and you can look at people in Japanese and know what Japanese people look like. You can go to Greece and look at Greece people for a couple days
Right.
and okay, that's what Greece people look like. You can go to America and there's no such thing as what Americans look like because we look like that
Well,
Asian guy's American, that Hispanic looking dark guy's American, that black fella's American, this guy with the horrible sunburn is American. But we also have the different mixes. Like there's nowhere else on earth that has this many Blasians, and there's no place on earth that has this many Blaxicans. And so like the Tiger Woods and the Patrick Mahomes and the Alicia Keys, we're the only ones that have that. There's a little bit going on in Brazil, but that it's unique to us. In Brazil basically have all of not only the races but the mixes of races that other people just don't have.
we call ourselves Americans, dude, but they're called natives. This country was occupied by a race of people.
Oh, they lived in America?
And that's yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Not in
Well, they called it
America.
something else, but since we took over, that's what we call. Oh, okay. Now you're splitting hairs. Now you're going by the documents. Yeah, no, they occupied this chunk of rock. And you're talking about Blasians. Have you ever seen people from Indonesia or people from that part of the world? I mean, that is like a really interesting mix of sort of Pan-Asian and Southeast Asian and African. That's like a mashup. Those people down there have influences from everywhere.
Yeah, and there's something weird going on in those islands like Papua New Guinea in that area because on the island where Papua New Guinea is, it's like not even the size of Texas, but they have 300 different native languages.
He's my favorite hip hop star, Papua New Guinea.
No.
Dad joke.
Got him so good, Pugs. You got him so good.
My little mixed race grandbaby is gonna love those jokes. Those are gonna kill. All right. What else?
So tell me the Chris Rock catch up.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not there yet, or can we do that?
No. We're here. We can do that. Let's get that right out of the box here.
Because I haven't seen this yet. I saw that you teased it. It's in the title.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna start doing that now for search purposes. I'm gonna start putting, whatever the big topic of the night is. Yeah, you got to be crafty. Looking at a sad picture of Bruce Willis. TMZ went out and found the saddest looking picture of Bruce Willis possible for that.
So what is his diagnosis? He has some sort of brain thing?
No, it's
I just saw the headline. He's retiring at 67 and he has some condition. That's it.
It's aphasia, which I talked about earlier today because I know a dude who a radio guy who had to retire who had aphasia.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Aphasia affects your ability to bring your thoughts to your mouth. You can't verbalize, you can't communicate. It stops your ability to, like, you can be thinking something and you want to say it, but your mouth and tongue and all that, it doesn't, there's some sort of disconnect that suddenly occurs. It's really sad. It's because you can be completely fine and completely normal. You just can't communicate. You just have all this. I mean, imagine if all of this, it's not like a throat thing where you can't actually.
Yeah, well, I've seen that happen when my father-in-law had a stroke. He couldn't talk, but he could still communicate. So
that was a physical muscular thing.
And so we would say because he could still move, and we'd say, well, if you can understand what we're saying right now, lift your arms. He would go, but you can't talk, right?
Right, Bruce will have that same thing. It's just it's not a muscular thing. It's a neurological thing. It's where you just cannot.
Oh, he's only 67, man. What did he do?
Yeah.
That's not fair that some people get that. I hate that.
Yeah, that sucks. I like Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is a good guy. Do we have some audio here? Hold on, let me see. Whoa. No. Get back. TMZ. I really hate the TMZ website. It is so. I'm trying to see if there's here. Do we have audio from it? Talking about the Chris Rock had a show tonight in Boston. He's got a whole tour going on. And James, holy crud. Tickets for Chris Rock's concert before this weekend started at $50. $50 a seat, right? That's where they started at. Chris Rock, he deserves that. He's a classic comedian, right? He's not playing the Improv. He's Chris Rock. That's actually a decent price to go see Chris Rock in a nice theater. You're probably in the balcony, but you know what I mean? That's good. He's a legend. Tickets for tonight's Boston show were selling on the street for upwards of $8,000 a piece. I'm telling you, this slap is going to be. This was huge for him. I mean, I know it was embarrassing and all that kind of stuff, but he's going to get a full new hour. I mean, he doesn't have it yet because he's still processing. He's still kind of trying to figure it all out. But he's going to have a full he's going to do an HBO special on it, and
He's got to workshop it first, though. You can't just go out there and dry roll the jokes.
I don't know. Chris Rock maybe can. Maybe Chris Rock can because he is one of the greats. He is
look, it would be better if he had like 3 months to go out there and toss it at people and take notes.
Oh, he will. He'll finish this tour, and he'll probably work some
start
of
squeezing it in
there. Yeah, but then he'll do a whole special, and it will be Bring the Pain level. It will be he's already got his classic Bring the Pain special. So, Bring the Slap.
Man, I saw Bring the Pain like 2 years ago, and all those jokes still work 100%.
It's why it's classic. It's why he's an absolute classic. And he's another tremendous example of Lorne Michaels not knowing what the hell he's got. There have been so many people that have started out on Saturday Night Live and walked away from Saturday Night Live because Lorne Michaels simply didn't get them. Key and Peele are a great example. Both Key and Peele weren't turned down for auditions on Saturday Night Live. Amy Schumer famously was turned down. Dave Chappelle was turned down. Chris Rock
Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was turned down.
Another one? Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw his audition for it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. You can find those on YouTube. If you want to, if you just Google search on YouTube Saturday Night Live auditions, and you'll see all the people who made it. But you'll also see people who are big stars now who didn't get accepted on Saturday Night Live, who were not good enough or whatever. Okay. For some reason, this is not the TMZ bullshit is not playing. It's not working. Chris Rock kicked off his comedy tour in Boston to thunderous applause, but he said he's still processing what went down at the Oscars. So he'll talk about the slap later, but he did tease the crowd. Chris played to a hyper-enthusiastic sold-out crowd at the Wilbur Theater in Boston and joked, "How was your weekend?" The crowd loved it. He then said, "I don't have a bunch of shit about what happened. So if you came here to hear that, I have a whole show I wrote before this weekend." Of course.
Right.
I'm still kind of processing what happened, he added, and then said, "So at some point, I'll talk about that shit, and it will be serious, and it will be funny." And then he went into his show. That was it. So we didn't get much. Look at Jeff Ballard taking shots at 80 Bryant. I don't think 80 Bryant is terrible. I don't think that she deserves that kind of heat coming from Jeff.
Least talented member on the cast.
Do you think so?
Well, I don't know the new people that well. But.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, I don't think so. I don't think she is. I think that Bennett Wong guy is. I don't get him at all. And you know what?
Boeing Yang.
What do I call him? Bennett Wong?
Yeah. All right. So I wasn't sold on Bowen Yang because for the first 10 times he appeared, whether it was on the Weekend Update or in a skit, I am the flamboyant gay guy, and I'm also Asian. And he does the face, And so he did that way too much. But then there was a few skits where I saw him actually have to play a different character. And I don't think this is his fault that he gets thrown into this. I don't think he wants to do that. So there was one where they were making fun of the Good Morning Montreal. And so he had to speak with this ridiculous accent. And he was actually playing something other than I am the flamboyant gay Asian and making goofy faces and being incredibly effeminate. And it was really good. So he can do other things. In fact, he's really good at doing other things. So I felt bad because I had already pegged him as he's a one-trick pony. He's just it's funny, but it's a Leslie Jones. It's just one thing, and that's what he does. And no, he's got more.
Thank you. You said Leslie Jones at the same time that Jeffrey Ballard said, "I miss Leslie Jones." I do not get Leslie Jones. I think that she's amusing in those commercials, and I think she's got a pretty interesting Twitter feed that I follow. But I thought Leslie Jones was terrible on Saturday Night Live.
No. She just doesn't have range. She does one thing and she does it really well, but she doesn't do accents. She doesn't do characters. She doesn't carry skits.
I used to get mad at Leslie Jones because Leslie Jones and Ego Woodham were hired at the same time when there was the whole Saturday Night Live is racist. So they
Didn't
immediately
have any black chicks.
Right.
Yeah.
So they immediately went out and got two black girls to be on the show. And then they tried to make Leslie Jones a star. And I'm like, Ego Woodham is hysterical. You need to pay more attention to her. She needs a little bit more screen. And she didn't get any when Leslie Jones was there. And now finally this year and last year, she's starting to break out a little bit more. But she's one of my 3 favorite people on the show this year. Who's got potential, who is not getting any work? The kid from Plano that they hired this season. He's not a full cast member yet. He's
featured player.
Yeah. He's can't remember his name. It's a Greek name. It's like Spiros Dilo, whatever. And I've only seen him. He's a very good looking guy, like you can see, but he's weird. Like he does weird stuff. He did this character on the news where he was an AI robot and he was talking like a robot and he was all covered in like silver paint and he looked like the Tin Man kind of but he was talking like a robot. Dude, I've never heard a better imitation of a robot in my life. I was doubled over laughing. It was one of the Aristotle Atari. That's who it is. Aristotle Atari. He's from Plano. And he's like he gets nothing. And the one thing that he did that stood out where he's not a guy in the background, he's background filler a lot. You see him in the background, he doesn't get any great lines. He was Atari, his robot bit is pretty good. Yes, his robot bit is hysterical. I want more of that robot. That should be a weekly bit where it's just life as a robot. He does this thing with his voice that is just, and he's not using any, it sounds like he's using something, but he's not. He's using his own voice. It's great. So
cool. Well, look, he is from Plano. He is of Iranian descent, but his name is Aristotle, clearly Greek.
I really thought he was Greek.
So, okay.
He's good.
Yeah, that's a nice little mix there. He's got a lot to play off of.
Texan, Iranian. Oh, imagine his life when
I think he's Muslim.
Maybe.
Well, they don't.
Oh, no. Iranians are Christian. A lot of Iranians are Christian. A lot. Well, the ones here anyway. That's
yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, every Iranian that I know in America is a Christian.
Well, I've never met an Iranian Jew. That's so weird. What happened there, Pugs? They didn't kick them all out in 1979 or anything, did they?
Yeah, the Jews won't fare well with both the Muslims and the Christians. That's not really a welcoming group on either side.
Yes. I think the Ayatollahs may be a tad bit anti-Semitic.
Moish Kaiser. I don't know who Moish Kaiser is. Is that somebody that I should know? All right. Thank you, Tartan Sauce. I'll look him up. All right. I got something. Can we get into something? I got into another one. Did you have something? If you had something, I'll
no, go ahead.
I got into another one of them Twitter feuds that I'm so famous for. James. The kids out there, they drive me absolutely insane. They drive me with their stupid hot takes that are just, it's the arrogance of ignorance, I like to say. It is you don't know, so it must not exist. So you say something stupid, and then you get old guys like me. James, let me show you a tweet. Let me show you a tweet that's trending. Let me show you a tweet that has now, luckily, this idiot's tweet has been ratioed. On this particular Twitter fight, I seem to be in the majority. I wasn't getting ganged up on quite as much. Watch this nonsense. Here, I'll show you this tweet. Derek from Derek. Derek, you son of a bitch. Oh, he deleted it! Oh, it's gone! The coward. It's gone. Hold on. Here, I'll show you where it says right now. He deleted it. The coward. There it is. There's the tweet. He got ratioed so bad that he decided, I can't keep this on my timeline.
All right. So what was the tweet? Did anyone screenshot it? Can you paraphrase it?
For dudes like me, for dudes of my... Yeah. Oh, can I paraphrase it? So it said, just simply said, does anyone remember this one-hit wonder? Does anyone remember this one-hit wonder? and then it was a picture of Huey Lewis in the news. What? One hit? What? Are you insane? Dumbass kid, thinking that he's on to something.
How's he supposed to know? How is he?
Well, he can just live in America. He can just live in America. Oh my, James, I was going back. Oh God. First of all, let me set you straight, kid, about Huey Lewis in the news, okay? Huey Lewis and the News had 3 number 1 hits. 3 number 1s. 3 number 1. 30 million albums sold. 12 top 10 hit. Are you out of your one-hit wonder?
See, this means nothing to someone who's never bought a physical album in their entire life. What do you they don't know what that means. They don't know what a platinum record is. They don't know what a gold record is. 500,000 units sold. They're like, so I've got billions of views on YouTube.
But he opened his dumb Gen Z mouth to claim one-hit wonder knowledge. Does anyone remember this one-hit wonder? Oh, did anyone? James?
All right, my question is, of Huey Lewis canon, what would the one hit be? If he is to be a one-hit wonder, what was he claiming the one hit was?
I don't right? What, like?
Okay, so
Power of Love.
Power of Love, maybe, but that's Hip to Be Square. Wasn't that bigger?
You're gonna make me pull up. Let's see
the discography.
Let's go through the Huey Lewis hit. Let's do that. Let's
I Want a New Drug.
When the World Made Me Sick.
Yeah, for about 3 years there, you couldn't get away from the dude. There was 4, and then Sports, and then I don't know anything after that. But those 2 albums were dominant and on MTV too. He had video status on MTV, but again, these kids were never exposed to that. I don't expect them to know these things. I expect them to say all kinds of dumb stuff like, "What's a long distance call?"
All right, how about this one? Hold on.
Hip to Be Square, right?
And that's all we can play.
That's enough. We all know. Just imagine the rest in your head.
All right, how about this one?
Here we imagine go. It's 1984 again.
How about this one? Say it's all right. Okay, we're gonna watch it.
Oh, stupid ad, huh?
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Cut it, hurry, cut it. It's the building.
More of that. All right, how about this one? This one. Here we go. Here's another one. One hit. Are you out of your mind?
Stupid ads. New drug. Wonder what to do.
Want a new drug? And now you think that's all, James? That ain't all, James. That ain't all. We got stuff like this. Here.
Happy to Be Stuck With You. Yeah.
Stuck With You.
Man, that was a good song.
Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. All right, here we go.
Boy, someone paid a lot of money for the pre-rolls today, didn't they? Power of Love, right?
That's the power of love. All right.
Got to get back in time. The theme to Back to the Future.
Right? Oh, yeah, it's another one.
Back in Time was a great one.
That one. What about this?
It's like, he's situational, Huey. This is it?
No. It's doing it for his baby. For my baby. All right, there you go.
Well, This Is It is another one. Please let me go.
I'll be back in time.
Want to be back? Here you go. Here's your Back to the Future. Back to the Future theme. Come on now. All right. So now we're kind of. Oh, this one. I like this one.
This is it. Why have you not done This Is It?
Hold on. Haven't gotten there yet. That's how many hits he had.
That's how many, right?
How many freaking hits? Metafan Dancer on the south side of Birmingham. Hold on. Yeah, kid, you're on the stream.
Oh, I thought you didn't stream Tuesdays.
No. Is this important? It wasn't important what I called you about. Do you need something?
Oh, then I saw your missed call and I just.
All right, name 2 Huey Lewis songs.
Yeah, James has a question for you.
Who?
Huey Lewis in the News.
Huey Lewis.
We haven't gotten to Huey Lewis yet, have we? In my attempt to educate you musically.
Aren't they a rock band?
Yeah.
All right, I think we've heard enough.
All right, I love you, kiddo.
I love you.
Hey, thank you, Mace.
There he goes. All right, this one I like. This one has the lyric: "I met a fan dancer on the south side of Birmingham. Wait, he was selling salvation in the palm of his hand." That's a good song. I like that song. That's one of the lessers, to be sure. All right, let's see here. What else do we have?
Tartan's making a good point. He says he loved that "It's All Right" ad that keeps coming up because it's a cover of a Huey Lewis song.
Is it?
Yeah, it's all right. Have a good time because it's all right. But I don't think he was the first one to do it either. I think it's a cover of a cover.
What we missed a whole bunch of them, right?
This Is It. You never played This Is It. You never played It's All Right.
You know, I really didn't. This is like all the Huey Lewis hits, and it doesn't have. I mean, there's a whole bunch more I could play here, like, but I don't recognize their names. But I know that if I played them, it would be like, oh, here, oh, come on, man. How do
Well, we don't know all the songs. We only know the ones that were played on the radio.
Some of us know all the songs.
Well, some of us do, but it's a ridiculous expectation.
Some of us have seen Huey Lewis. All right, this is my favorite Huey Lewis song. Are you ready? You ready for this one?
Okay.
All right, here you go. This is my favorite Huey Lewis song. Name
Huey
that
Lewis
tune.
and the Moog.
Can you? Yeah, the Moog or the Korg, one of those. Do you recognize this one yet? The greatest Huey Lewis song?
Nope, not yet.
All right. This is his Vietnam epic, man. Walking on a thin line, angry all the time.
Oh, I don't know this one. No, I don't know the Vietnam epic.
I was fighting for, walking on a thin line, straight off the front line.
What was this on the Platoon soundtrack or something? Working for a Living. Did we cover that one? That was a big one.
That was a big. I'm taking what I'm giving because I'm looking for a living. We also didn't do his first hit. We didn't get to his first hit, which was hold on. What's that one? His first hit. Oh yeah, here you go. This was his first hit, and we didn't even get to it. Whoa, how is it? Oh, because it's not available as a video. Hold on.
Do you believe in love?
Yes, that's the one I was going for. This was the first Huey Lewis hit.
What a great song.
Down a one-way street, just looking for someone to meet. One woman.
I don't wanna be lonely, baby. Please, I wanna love you all over. Take it, James.
Yeah, all over what? Like the pool room or
The B-side Huey, Jeff, none of these are B-sides. These are all hits. These are all things that were played on the radio between 1980, what do you say, 4? Maybe
1982 to 86.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Look, I am old enough now to be comfortable in my admiration and appreciation for the Huey Lewis and the News Band. But I will tell you, if you had cornered me at 13 years old and said, what do you think of Huey Lewis and the News? I'd be like, they're lame, man.
You're too cool. You were too cool for.
Oh, I was way too cool.
See, I kind of like Huey Lewis in the fact that in a lot of the other popular music that was on the radio, the song before them, the song after them, was dudes with long teased up hair, and they're wearing lipstick and eyeshadow, and they've got ripped pants, and they're wearing like a really ripped up tank top with like one of their nipples poking out, and I'm like, this is just gay, right? And then Huey Lewis is over here just looking like a regular human being.
They look like a bar band.
Yeah, they look like whoever played at your aunt's wedding, a couple weeks ago.
Yes, they looked like a really good wedding band. That's what
Right.
They were awesome. And I only appreciate them now because, I talk a lot why music is important to us, because we have a sentimental attachment to the things that we were at the point the song was out. So when you hear a song, that's why when you hear a song on the radio from when you were 12 years old, you might not have liked it when you were 12 years old, but you like it now because it reminds you, it's like, oh my God, this reminds me of my dad's car or whatever. And it makes you smile and it fires off the endorphins. And, that's kind of how I feel about two bands that I feel that way about. Two bands that I would never have admitted back in the day that I was a fan of, that I love now. Huey Lewis and the News being one, the other Hall & Oates. I love Hall & Oates. I love everything about Hall & Oates.
No, you don't. You don't love everything about Hall & Oates. You love Hall. Oates could be anybody. He could be easily replaced. They could have changed out Oates 3 different times over the 80s, and you wouldn't have even noticed.
Isn't it it really is a testament to the loyalty of Daryl Hall that he never just went, I'm going to be Daryl Hall from now on. You want to lead the band back there, fine, but your name's coming off the albums. I don't know what John Oates was really all about, but he got equal billing.
Well, and we did a deep dive into this on a show about 10 years ago, and it turns out about halfway through their run, they just told John Oates, you're not singing anymore. You're going to be like a backup guy. You're going to be doing the harmonies on the chorus, but you're not going to get like a whole verse by yourself or anything. We're not doing this anymore.
Hey, John, the claps and Private Eyes? Yeah, that's you from now
That's
on.
You. You're all over the claps. He's like, I didn't say anything. You did the claps.
All right.
You did the claps, John.
Have you heard Daryl's voice? You don't need to say anything. Just let Daryl take it.
Yeah, and it would trip the copyright censors, but the song that seals the deal on this argument is when you play their cover of "You Lost That Lovin' Feeling," because John Oates starts off, and it's good. It's good. It kind of sounds like if I sang it, and then Daryl Hall comes in with like the pipes from God himself, and just blows him away. And the contrast is so stark right there. It's like that might have been the song where they just pulled Oates aside and be like, look, you still get writing credits. You'll still get performance credits. Your name's still going to be on the album. You're still going to get groupies. Just you're not singing anymore.
Just go with it, John. Don't rock the boat. Go with it.
Millions of dollars, John.
Daryl's going to keep you around. He likes you. You amuse him. You can, you're going to, I think that the true indicator of the immense talent divide in that band is on the song "She's Gone." I don't know if that Daryl Hall and John Oates song "She's Gone," because that's another one where John Oates sings a little bit, and then it's like he just leaves, and Daryl Hall just gives like,
yeah.
No, that's no. This is the one where he goes.
I know. I was doing the other song because I don't know.
She's gone. I'm gonna let out the love. She's gone. And he goes up and up and up. And it's just like, and then at the end he hits this, and it's like, oh my God, why do you have the other guy cutting into your profits? This is not something. He must be a cool guy.
He must be a good writer.
John Oates?
Yeah, he must be part of the writing team, because when they give everyone credit, someone did most of the writing. It's not like there's ever a song where someone actually wrote 50-50.
That might be the deal, dude. That might be the deal. John Oates, because then it is a true partnership. If it's John Oates, like, Elton John is like a huge star, but he owes like all of it to a guy named Bernie Taupin, who like gets all the money. He's got like all the money that Elton John has. Bernie Taupin has it too, but he gets none of the credit. I mean, it's so hold on. John Oates is an American musician, best known as half of the weaker half of the soul duo Hall & Oates.
We don't need your editorial, sir.
although Oates' main role in the duo is being the guitarist, he also co-wrote many of the top 10 songs that they recorded, including Sarah Smile, She's Gone, Out of Touch. You're out of touch. You're out of touch. As well as you make my dreams come true. That's the bouncy one.
Love that one.
That's a great one.
I burn the candle. I can't burn the flame. Yeah.
He wrote Maneater, so that's got to count for something, right? Oh, here she comes.
That's
Watch
good.
out,
That's
boy, she'll chew you up.
and that's good songwriting.
Also gets credit for Private Eyes. Private Eyes, they're watching you.
Well, look, part of the appeal of Hall & Oates is similar to that of Huey Lewis in the fact that I can go out there and I can get some nice, solid R&B or rock and roll type music, and you don't look like women. And they also had an interesting, in the Venn diagram overlap between Huey Lewis and Hall & Oates is the rock saxophone. Rock saxophone is something that died out. It kind of tried to make a comeback when ska was a thing for 10 days in the 90s. But we haven't seen the rock saxophone really in 20 years.
No,
30,
I mean,
almost.
What we do with Bruce, Bruce has always had the saxophone as a main part of his band. Clarence
That's
Clemens.
an 80s thing.
It's 70s. Well, yeah, 70s,
Yeah,
80s,
70s and 80s.
Although, Bruce has sold 10 million albums every decade for 5 straight decades. So that's kind of a record. So you can't just say that he's. Don't get me started on Bruce now. Don't even.
Overrated, but the rock saxophone is what I was wanting to focus
greatest
on.
American singer-songwriter of all time. Overrated, he says. Okay, that's fine. He's dead inside, folks. He doesn't allow the lyrical composition, the message of the song to touch him.
Oh man, have you ever just sat down and read his lyrics?
Yes. Yeah, what are you talking about? Yes, I have seen Bruce Springsteen 11 times. I have seen him more than anyone else that I have ever seen. Have I read his lyrics? Screen door slams. Sarah's dress waves. Like a vision, she dances across the porches. The radio plays. Are you insane? He is gorgeous. Now, Dylan, I don't get. Springsteen, I get.
Springsteen sounds like a high school freshman that just got her first period, dude.
Oh.
It's so just trite angst. Going to.
I am not sure how I'm supposed to I can't process this. I haven't been this angry at him since he said that the January 6th incursion was just a bunch of people knocking over lawn furniture.
I call it the Gravy Seals. Thank you very much. The January 6th was the Gravy Seals loitering through the Capitol. Yeah.
The Gravy Seals. All right. Don't, please. It's a hot button issue. Don't. I mean, we could get into but why? What would the point of getting into a bare knuckle Springsteen fight?
Well, look, wouldn't the greatest American band, is that the Eagles?
No, the E Street Band is the greatest American band. Are you talking about the most popular or the most? Yeah, but the greatest assemblage of musicians is Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. But again, I'll get off this topic because obviously we're not going to find common ground. I will address your question faithfully to the way you intended.
You know who is going to be in this conversation in about 10 or 20 years is the Foo Fighters. Because they have quietly, while still somehow being overshadowed by Nirvana in many people's minds, they've just cranked out like 20 hits that you would recognize.
They sure have.
And it's so many songs over such a long span that there's really not, like Chili Peppers and a few other bands have had that level of success on such a long time scale.
I have many times had the drunken argument with friends that Foo Fighters are 10 times the band Nirvana was. Nirvana, and I love Nirvana.
At this point, yes. Yeah.
I loved Nirvana. They changed my world. I always say, the week before Nirvana had the number one song in America, it was like Ace of Base. It was, I saw the sign and it opened up my, and then the next week it was, I mean, it was a sea change in music. It was, and for me, who was in college at the time, it was like, this is ours. This is not Ace of Base. This is not New Kids on the Block. This is ours.
Well, for me, it was like, well, this isn't Warrant Cherry Pie. No one's wearing a headband and got some flowing scarf on. No one's wearing spandex.
Bunch of
No one
dressers.
Yeah, no one's. They slapped the makeup right off your face, is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Have I ever given you? Go ahead.
Well, Foo Fighters kind of in the news here because poor Dave Grohl in Nirvana was the drummer who lost his front man, and then in Foo Fighters he was the front man who lost his drummer.
Oh, yeah. I guess I never really thought about
that.
Isn't
it? That's tough. Poor guy. He's been through a lot now. Damn.
The Foo Fighters news today is that they've canceled their entire tour for the foreseeable future, and the band has been placed on hiatus. And here's the word that troubles people: indefinitely.
They'll come back. The drummer is the most easily replaceable guy on stage, and the bassist is number 2.
No, they'll never be back. That's not the dynamic in the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl's best friend in the whole world has just died. He doesn't want to take the stage and turn behind him and continue the band with, the guy who he considered to be the heart and soul of the band. I think it's over. Now,
do his bills go away?
Oh, because Dave Grohl's got bills. He's got Nirvana money, and he's got Foo. Come on, man.
Yeah,
he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice already. He doesn't.
That's so cool.
Isn't it? Yeah. What I imagine will happen is that like Nate Mendel and Pat Smear and Dave Grohl, they'll probably play together again, but they'll do a Foo Fighters show for Taylor Hawkins. They'll do like one big memorial thing, and then it'll be over. And then those guys will play together again, but they'll do different things. They'll have a different name. They will not play under the Foo Fighters banner again. That is my officially. Like there will not be any more new Foo Fighters albums, is what I'm saying.
That would be totally understandable.
Yeah, I mean,
right? 25 years of Foo Fighters. They didn't. There's no need to do more.
He's devastated. It's like the Bonham thing with Zeppelin. They were like, people were like, well, you guys are going to keep going, right? And they're like, no, no, we're not. Bonzo's gone. We can't really be Led Zeppelin without Bonzo. And I think that's the argument that you'll hear from Dave Grohl, that without Taylor Hawkins, there is no Foo Fighters. We'll be something else, and we'll call it something else, and maybe we'll invite some new people in. But I think that sucks because, like you, I love the Foo Fighters. I think that they are tremendous.
Well, Byron is saying the Rolling Stones waited 2 days. I assume he means after Charlie Watts' death, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, is he room temperature yet? All right, let's go, boys.
That's a different animal. The Rolling Stones, they're like the AT&T of rock bands. They're a utility. They can't just stop. One of their guys have been dropping dead since 1969. Brian Jones was the founder of the Rolling Stones. Before it was Mick and Keith as the main guys, it was Brian Jones, and he died. And they were like, "How are the Stones going to continue?" Well, 40 years, 50 years later,
60 years later, maybe.
Yeah, they're fine. What was your question? No, you did have an interesting question. Who's the biggest American rock and roll band of all time?
Well, when the list comes out, I see most other people put the Eagles on top of that list. And while I don't really agree with it, it seems there's a lot of other people that I respect their opinion, and they do. So that's why I threw that at you.
I love the Eagles. It would be hard to find another American band that has been as successful and as big as the Eagles. I'm trying to think. Foo Fighters is a very good example, and we might not immediately think Foo Fighters because they are a contemporary band, but Foo Fighters started in 96? It's 25, something like
25 solid years.
So who else is in the conversation?
Well, it also, what do you count as a band? Does Elvis count as a band?
No.
Does Johnny Cash count as a band?
Performer? No.
Yeah. So now we're starting to narrow it down.
Yeah.
So say what?
Michael Jackson doesn't count either. It's a
right.
band. It's a group of guys who play music together.
Okay, so some of the other ones would you could say perhaps a Aerosmith.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in both they had 2 runs. They were retired and gone for 5 or 6 years, and they got sober, and they came back and had a bigger second career than they did the first.
Um, uh,
Beach Boys.
yeah, maybe Beach Boys, maybe Guns N' Roses.
Too short of a term for Guns N' Roses, but certainly Guns N' Roses are one of the most impactful bands. You know, Guns N' Roses, James, holds a very, very, I think, significant place in American rock and roll.
Because they bridge the divide between hair
They
rock
are
and
the
grunge.
bridge band. They were the band that is directly in between. They are equal parts Motley Crue and equal parts Nirvana. They are like the bridge band that made bands from Seattle and grungy bands sort of acceptable, because Guns N' Roses was, wearing the flannel, and they stopped with the teased hair. Or who else? Who else you got?
Well, I feel like there's a big drop off in the conversation after those guys, because now we're talking about like Jimi Hendrix doesn't count because he's just a solo guy.
That's
but
right.
Now we're talking about like a Creedence or a Tom Petty or maybe the Doors or Van Halen, Journey, Metallica, ZZ Top, something to that effect. See, this is all a big drop off. The conversation is really small, and the Foo Fighters are in it. The Eagles are in it. I think Huey Lewis and the News is in it.
Oh, really? I love it. I appreciate it.
And I suppose Bruce Springsteen. See, Bruce Springsteen feels like they're in that second tier.
Dude, they're one of only like 10 bands to have sold over 100 million records. They're not in any second tier.
Well, the Backstreet Boys sold more, so that's not a good metric.
I don't think so.
Well, and if we're going by record sales, the Eagles beat them. Or I think they beat them.
Oh, yeah. The Eagles are the number 1 selling American rock band of all time. They have sold more albums than anybody else. You know who's also in that group, though? Bands like Chicago, who have been around for 40 years. Chicago's in the 100 million group. All right, how about let me give you this one. REM, Metallica, Pearl Jam, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, these are all. I pulled up most successful American rock bands.
It's the next tier, because like Fleetwood Mac is one of those bands you're like, oh yeah, they're legendary, and I think they only had like one #1 hit. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
I hear all these goofy music stats, and I wish I could remember them as well as sports stats, but there's something wild about Fleetwood Mac that I just heard like within the last week that I thought they were more successful than that. Like I was left with the impression.
I've got one for you that people don't consider. But if you're talking about having this long ass career with just dozens and dozens of hit songs, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Crosby, Stills, and Nash have been cranking out hits since the mid 1960s. They were big in the 70s. They were big in the 80s, and they could still tour and sell. I mean, if they were to tour together, they would sell out major stadiums. They're not playing, Addison Taste of North Dallas. They're not. That's not where you're going to get Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They're all members. Crosby, Stills, and Nash are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a band, and every member of the band is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for something else. They're all in there for multiple. I mean, so that's a big one. Aerosmith.
Is Neil Young still in there, or did he withdraw?
Probably,
because like Joe Rogan went to the Hall of Fame or something.
Dude,
I'm just making fun of him.
Bon Jovi,
maybe
they're legit. They are legit huge. Motley Crue, legit huge.
Bro, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I cannot name Crosby, Stills, and Nash songs. Name one.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, this is I'll go deep for you, because this is one of my favorites. Southern Cross is like Our House. Oh God, what else? Ohio.
No, Four Dead in Ohio is Neil Young's song.
Performed with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. See, he comes and goes from that band. But that's.
But what about just Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
I just named like 4 of them, and I went.
No, you named Southern Cross.
Southern Cross, Our House.
Our House is one of their songs.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house.
Really? That's one of their
2
songs?
cats in the yard. Dude,
maybe I just know songs that I didn't know it was them. What else do they got?
Hold on. Wait. We'll do what we did with Huey, just so that you can see how silly it is, the statement you just made.
Go ahead.
I rode in an elevator at the Grammys with Steven Stills, and my wife at the time had never heard of him. It's like, okay, that was pretty cool, but whatever. All right, here. We'll can I do this? Like, oh no, I got to do this. Heart of Gold, Southern Cross. Oh no, that's Neil Young. These are all.
See?
We can't. Woodstock. Oh God.
Woodstock's a song?
We're gonna. Woodstock's a song. You said. Really?
Well, I'm familiar with the concert Woodstock,
Right.
but there's a
the
song called Woodstock.
Yes, it was the song that was written for the concert. It was a huge hit, and it was the theme to the concert.
Never heard it.
Yes, you have. Yeah, you just don't know it.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, hold on. I have to pull it up this way. All right, here's one. Again, we're just gonna have to play like little bits of it. These are just the random ones.
Say, you are what you are. You make it hard.
You don't know that song?
No.
Where I'm no fun anymore.
Judy Blue Eyes. You don't know that song. That's like a major hit. All right.
No.
Right.
No, I love their harmonies.
Yes.
I'll light the fire. You place the flowers.
Ugh, no wonder I don't know these songs. This is terrible.
Only for me. Come to me now.
Why can't I get to there it is. I'm trying to get to the chorus.
Only for you.
And I can't find it. All right. The very idea that you don't know these songs is just absolutely staggering to me.
I understand why I don't know these songs. This is some lame sauce.
With no taste. Teach your children.
Okay, I know this one. There you go. What's the name of this song?
Teach your children.
Is it really called Teach Your Children?
Yes. Teach your children well. Okay.
Yeah, I know that part.
Long time gone.
Appears to be time is a long, 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 long time before the dawn.
Dude, you call yourself a stoner?
Dude, this is
seriously.
dude,
this is like
weak sauce.
This is like some serious stoner music.
Say it's all right.
Oh, wait a second.
This next.
Child of God, he was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me, where are you going? Mister told me. Said, I'm going nowhere and set my soul free.
All right, now look at go to the comments over here.
Let me see.
You want to hear some crazy stuff from the comments? First off, Alice in Chains. Get a hold of yourself, Brady. Alice in Chains is not even in the second tier. They may be in the third tier.
How the hell have you not said Teach Your Children? I played Teach Your Children, Byron. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I know Teach Your Children well, but that's such a lame sauce song. If I'm at a party and that song comes on, I leave. I grab the redhead and I'm like, let's go. Let's go to Whataburger or something.
Oh my God.
Brady says he thinks that Pink Floyd is objectively the best band of all time, but they're British, so they don't really fit into this conversation. But that's a ridiculous thing to say. Pink Floyd's is objectively the best band of all time.
Yeah, no. I would disagree with that. Hold on. How about this one?
And you people who think Russia's the best band of all time, I don't like you either.
Best Canadian band of all time by far. All right, you know what? I'm done with this. Just if you
That's
don't
awful.
know.
That sounds like the Monkees. That sounds like I'm trying to make fun of the Monkees.
You're terrible. You are terrible.
That was indistinguishable from Last Train to Clarksville.
The Monkees, well, first of all, you got a problem with the Monkey songs. You know the people who wrote those Monkey songs? Those songs were written by Hall of Famers.
Oh, no, I believe it, but that's what I'm saying. If you are easily confused with the Monkees, though, I don't hear anyone throwing in the Monkees for the greatest American rock band of all time.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash are a folk rock supergroup made up of American singer-songwriters David Crosby, Stephen Stills, and English singer-songwriter Graham Nash. When joined by Canadian singer-songwriter Neil Young as the fourth member, they are called Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. They are noted for their lasting influence on American music and culture, and for their intricate vocal harmonies, often tumultuous interpersonal relationships, and political activism. That's what it is. You probably have been brainwashed against them because they're all hippies. Formed in 1968. Let's see. It goes on to talk about everything that they've done. Which came top 40, had more top 40 hits than any band before, blah, blah, blah. Hold on, we're getting into all of these things. Crosby, Stills, and Nash were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and all three members were also inducted for their work in other groups. David Crosby for the Byrds, Stephen Stills for Buffalo Springfield, and Nash for the Hollies. Neil Young has also been inducted as a solo artist. All right, you know what? I'm not going to get into this. We're not going to get... I do have something interesting, though.
Go ahead.
Parker sounds like the kind of guy who orders a steak well done.
I'm not a monster. Jeez.
It's funny. I yell at my kid because he likes steak sauce. And I'm like, well, then you've never had good steak.
Oh, well, I like steak sauce.
You know, we were talking about bands here, and I found this. I thought I'd pull this up. This is interesting. So Huey Lewis and the News. One-hit wonders. Yeah, they've had 3 number 1 hits. They've had 12 top 10 hits. They've sold 30 million albums. Okay, so that's that. And nobody's definition of a one-hit wonder does that fit. Listen to this, James. Let me run through some bands that have never had number 1 hits. Are you ready?
I am always shocked by this list. I've heard people go through this before, and it's a big fat wow.
Metallica has never had a number 1 hit.
Understandable. They
Lewis has 3.
Right. And Metallica sold like 150 million albums.
Right. Bob Dylan has never had a number 1 hit. He's been doing it for 60 years.
Because he sucks.
I'm not a Dylan fan either, but just because I don't personally like his music doesn't mean that I deny his cultural influence. I mean, the guy is influenced somebody, not you or I, James, but
definitely not
somebody. Garth Brooks. Remember how big Garth Brooks was? Never had a number 1 hit.
Friends in Low Places didn't go to number 1?
No.
Oh my God. I couldn't get away from that song for a year and a half.
Right.
Okay.
You couldn't get away from Garth Brooks for a year and a half. James, Led Zeppelin has never had a number 1 hit.
Believable.
It's AC/DC has never had a number 1 hit.
That's a shock. See, that's the one I think I've heard before because aside from like Thriller, Back in Black is the greatest selling album of all time.
Well, maybe 30 years ago, but no, that can't possibly be true. I'm sure it's one of them.
I think it's the second greatest selling album of all time.
Journey has never had a number 1 hit.
Well, Journey's in the interesting category of bands that was bigger after they're done.
No, dude. Journey escaped. Journey between like 1979 and 1984. Journey was faithfully everything. No, dude, they had just hit after hit after hit. I was shocked by that one because they were poppy enough that you would think radio would have made them number 1. Hold on.
Yeah, a little before my time, but
in junior high, you could not get away from me anyway. You could not get away from Journey. They were everywhere. And I didn't particularly love them. REM never had a number 1 hit.
That's a shock.
Linkin Park never had a number one hit. George
Not a
Strait
shock.
has never had a number one hit.
Stop it. George Strait has had 60 number one hits.
As trends in country music come and go, George Strait has rarely strayed from his slightly old-fashioned neo-traditional approach, never not wearing a hat, and delivering restrained, gentle songs about love, romance, faith, and patriotism and family, and it has paid off handsomely. According to the RIAA, George Strait has total album sales approaching 70 million copies, and he's almost guaranteed to top or nearly top of the Hot Country Songs charts too, a remarkable rate of success that has kept him from the number one position. His highest song on the Billboard charts is Unwound. It went to number 6 in 1981.
No, see, this is a garbage list then because George Strait has an album. It's a double album called 50 number one hits.
But it's country charts then. That's these are the Billboard pop charts, which is the important one. That's the one that's crossover mainstream. Yeah.
Okay, because I think he's up to like 70 number one hits because 50 number one hits came out like 20 years ago.
Dude, I have a friend who worked at the restaurant that I worked at, whose brother has like 5 dance number one hits. And that dude's like a mechanic now. So, I mean, there are all these variations of the charts, but it's the Billboard Hot 100. That's the big chart that people consider to be. And that doesn't...
well, then that explains like Garth Brooks. Clearly, Garth Brooks went to number one with country songs.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I guess. And yeah. Okay. So here we go. 40 minutes. I'm giving you the top selling albums of all time. Okay.
Okay. Top selling albums. Thriller still number one.
Michael Jackson's Thriller is the number one selling album of all time. Let's see here. Look at you. AC/DC Black and Black 1980 hard rock. Look at that. You were right. I doubted that.
I'm not an idiot. I just don't like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I think that just sounds like dorky children's music to me.
Let's see here.
I know, hate me, but I'm being honest. What do you want me to lie to you? Because everyone else thinks it's cool. I got to pretend like it's cool. I don't do that.
Hold on. This list is
well, bro, what's number 3? We didn't even get to 3.
Well, no, I know, but none of these even have 100 million sold, and there's a number of 100 million. This is like
America only.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see here. Let me see what this criteria is. List of best-selling albums. This is a dynamic list and may never be able to satisfy particular standards. Number 1, Michael Jackson, Thriller. Number 2, AC/DC Back in Black. Number 3, Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard. Number 4, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Number 5, Eagles, Their Greatest Hits. Then Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Then the Eagles, Hotel California. Then the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Fever. Then Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. And then Shania Twain. Continuing the list, Led Zeppelin, Michael Jackson's Bad, Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, Michael Jackson's Dangerous, Celine Dion's Falling Into You, the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, Adele 21, Celine Dion, Metallica, the Beatles, number ones, the Beatles, Abbey Road, ABBA, Their Greatest Hits, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, Madonna, Immaculate Collection, James Horner, Titanic music, music from the film Titanic.
My Heart Will Go On. Yeah, that's the Celine Dion song.
Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, Mariah Carey, Music Box, Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, Eminem, The Eminem Show. Yeah, Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, 2000. Yeah. Ranked 27th in sales all time. Eric Clapton, Unplugged. Let's see here. Then you get look there. There's some Crosby, Stills, and Nash. There's some Carole King. There's some Phil Collins.
Man, where is Nevermind? Is Nevermind not up here?
Well, let me see. Didn't I say that? Yeah, man.
Shocked. I am shocked.
Oh, there it is. Nirvana. Nirvana is number 30, the 30 biggest selling album of all time. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20. Yeah, 30. 30. Nirvana's Nevermind, released in 1991.
Pearl Jam 10, somewhere over there.
How far down do we have to go till we find Pearl Jam? We have not seen Pearl Jam yet. U2 makes its first appearance right in between.
Which one was it? Joshua Tree?
Yep, Joshua Tree, 1987. Fugees, Oasis. Madonna's Like a Virgin is the first one from Madonna. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, she had the Immaculate Collection that was like
Collection.
number 6 or something. Yeah.
Bon Jovi, then Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, Boston, Britney Spears, Celine Dion, Def Leppard, Elvis Presley, Green Day, Lionel Richie, Mariah Carey, Pink Floyd again, Shania Twain again, Supertramp, Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman is on this list for one song. Happy birthday, Tracy Chapman. It's her birthday today. Tracy Chapman makes this list for one song.
Oh, yeah. She has a new song coming out called Fast Mobility Scooter. Yeah.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's strong. I like it. All right, we can be done with this.
All right.
We can be done. I know you've got to go and do whatever it is that you're doing. Hey,
She got a new song called "Give Me One Reason to Stay Here in My Walk-In Bathtub."
Is that?
No.
How did you know? How do you not know who Crosby, Stills, and Nash are? But you can rattle off 2 Tracy Chapman songs.
Oh, you've reached the depth of my Tracy Chapman knowledge. That's it.
The depth of everyone's Tracy Chapman knowledge.
There's nothing spectacular here. Yeah.
There's nothing more. That's it. I completely forgot about Give Me just one more. Give me
one reason to stay here.
Jesus, oh God. It's like, all right, hit me with your best Indigo Girls take.
Right. Did you know that they're lesbians?
I did. I knew that. I knew that at the time. Byron says Tracy Chapman's new song, Give Me a Fast Pulse. You got a fast pulse.
Sorry, that was a good one.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. All right. Oh, James, one thing I wanted to tell you, I fell back into it. I want to ask you just quickly before I send you off here, and because you and I, we enjoy certain kinds of television. Are you at all familiar? Dude, remember what happened the other night when I didn't have anything to watch and I ended up watching a gay documentary about the 1940s in Hollywood?
Oh, yeah, the dude with the gas station.
I don't want
Scott or something.
Yeah, I don't need that to happen. So I need something to watch. And so I started poking around and I saw that a show that I love, that I think is so great, it has come back for its 5th season. And then I'm looking at the 5th season and I realize, holy shit, I missed the entire 4th season. So now I've got like 2 seasons. So what I decided to do was, because it had been like 3 years since I binged watched the whole series on Hulu, I decided that I would just go back and start rewatching it from the beginning. James, have you ever seen Snowfall on FX?
Nope.
You should. It's so good, man.
Snowfall. Okay.
Adam Reyna, I talked about it this afternoon because I was like, I got to sign up because I got to go watch an episode of Snowfall. I'm trying to get back up into the modern episodes. Adam Reyna said that it is a perfect crossover. It's a perfect mix of Narcos, The Wire, and The Americans. It is Narcos, The Wire, and it's the story of the CIA's secret war in Central America, where they took cocaine and basically sold the cocaine on the streets of America covertly, and then took the money and bought guns because the Democratic Tip O'Neill-led Congress wouldn't give Reagan any money to fund the Contras. So they basically, and it's about the origins of crack, and it follows like 3 different, it's so good, dude. You'd love it. It's violent. It's got boys in the hood, but it's also got politics, and it's got
that does sound good.
Stuff.
That sounds like something I would like, definitely.
Here, let me just
think how many of our problems just go away on the planet if we get rid of the drug war.
Yes.
Not just weed. All you softies like, we should have legal weed. No, we should have legal everything, you bunch of babies. What about fentanyl? Oh, especially fentanyl. Damn it. It's illegal now. We just had the record high overdoses. So whatever we're trying now is not working. It can't be worse than what we're trying now. It can't. So
this is the last thing that if you like Boys in the Hood, that's why I always say it's kind of got a Boys in the Hood vibe. If you like Boys in the Hood, this is the last thing that John Singleton ever did. This is John Singleton's TV show. He died in the middle.
this is John Singleton. How old is this then?
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's in season 5 right now, but I think it started in like 2017 or something like that.
Okay.
Here, watch this trailer. This is trailer for season 1. Let me see if I can get you interested in it because I'd love to talk to you about it because it's the kind of thing that I think you and I could have a good conversation about.
Any last words, just in case?
Don't miss. You got 3 things in life when you're born. What your mama tells you, what the streets teach you, and what the future holds, which no one knows. That's the one you got control of.
Frankie! Franklin Saint, king of all the white boys.
I'm here to buy. I don't sell coke to kids.
What do you sell?
You sell kilos to people with money.
50 kilos worth of cocaine hidden in a hot tub?
I'm a soldier, not a drug dealer, so what are we talking about?
How badly does the director want this war funded?
This could actually work.
Those 25 kilos could net us just under $2 million.
What you doing with that much coke? You're out for money. I try to do things the right way. You know what I learned? It ain't made for people like us. That brick, that ain't worth the trouble that it come with. You know what? I'm rewriting the rules.
You do not have my money. Where is it?
Where's my money?
This isn't for everybody.
Dude, it's awesome. It's really good.
Man,
It's
that
got-
does have a strong Narcos vibe, and I loved
Yeah.
every second of that.
Yeah, and it follows 3 people, basically 3 storylines. The kid who became the crack kingpin of South Central back in the 80s, which is based on Freeway Rick Ross. If you're familiar with the story of Freeway Rick Ross, he's not the Rick Ross, the hip hop guy, but the actual drug king.
Rick Ross, the hip hop guy, used to be a cop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, former cop.
That can't be good for street cred, can it? I mean, so it follows the crack kingpin of South Central. It follows the Mexican cartel people who also have their thing going on, and then it follows Teddy, who is a CIA agent posing as a guy named Reed, who basically acquires all this cocaine from the Contras and then flips it on the streets of LA to these drug dealers. It's so good, man.
Wow.
And
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna go watch Miss Maisel.
Snowfall. Oh, I finished it. All
right. Well, let me catch up and we'll talk.
It's very good. There he goes. That's James Parker. Everybody he joins us every night at 9:00. James Parker. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on the nighttime edition. I always like to say that I truly enjoy the high noon show that I do by myself, but I also enjoy this show. I really do like the Pillow Talk one. It's thank you for allowing me. Thank you for making it possible for me to do it. Tip the show if you can. End of the month. I'm not going to do it anymore. We haven't met our goal yet. We're close, but whatever you can do, that's fine. We'll make it. We'll make it. And the show, as Celine might say, the show will go. And actually, that's not what Celine would say. You got the Venmo, you got the pay Cash App, all that stuff. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Decided that today I was going to do my fasting thing, right? So here's what I've had today. 2 hard-boiled eggs. That's right. That's it. I had 2 hard-boiled eggs at 2:45 this afternoon. I ran. I didn't get my full 3 in though. I wonder, probably because you've only eaten 2 hard-boiled eggs. I know. I did 2 miles today and it kicked my ass. So now I think I'm going to eat. I made a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. I'll probably eat another couple of hard-boiled eggs and some spinach. Being fat sucks. You people who are just naturally thin, you have no idea. You have no idea what we fat people go through trying to wear clothes that look decent on us. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at noon for High Noon. That's topics, trends, all that kind of stuff. If it's happening tomorrow at noon, I'm going to be talking about it. So please join me. Love you guys. Be well. See you then. Tartan Sauce, why did you have to quit Mrs. Maisel after the first season? I don't know. Jeffrey Ballard, Snowfall is on Hulu. It is anything that has ever been on FX. I guess they're partners with Hulu in some way. Anything that's ever been on FX is available on Hulu. Snowfall is on Hulu. Mrs. Maisel is so good. It is so good. It's so good. The best is yet to come. Different way, so baffling to some. Thank you, Jeffrey. Seriously. Thank you. That is all I need. I don't need no 401. You know what? That's reasonable. What Tartan Sauce says, that the reason he doesn't like Mrs. Maisel is because of the writing style. It is Amy Palladino. She's isn't she the Gilmore? Didn't she? I think it's the same person, right? So that would hold on. We'll check this out really quick. Who created the Gilmore Girls? Was that because you're right, but I like the Gilmore Girls. This is the Gilmore Girls with I don't want to go into it. Anyway, I enjoy it. I like the way it portrays show business in the 1960s, how it's just very Mad Men, but also it's like Joan Rivers being dropped into Mad Men. That's how I describe it. And I think Mrs. Maisel is marvelous. You know what? Tartan says there are some episodes, if you're talking about Maisel, where you're like, people don't talk to each other like that. Yeah, I know. But you know what I always think when I'm watching Mrs. Maisel, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not a really Jewish family in New York City in the 1960s. Maybe they were just more interesting than we were. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. There is definitely a style of communication in Mrs. Maisel. They're all witty. They all have like a line. They're all interesting. Yeah. Some might consider those reasons to watch and enjoy it, but I get what you're saying. I do. Well, let me tell you this, Tartan Sauce. The first season is certainly sets the stage, and it sort of introduces you to the characters. But the thing that I really enjoy about these new seasons in the season 2, season 3, season 4, is that you get to see her rise. You get to see Midge Maisel, go from just like a mom to a bunch of little kids who, are to like a powerful stand-up comedian, celebrity. I mean, it's interesting. I find it interesting. I can smile a little now. Things are going good. Give it a shot, Tartan. You might like it. Give it a chance. Down the road I'll travel, far from By the way, though, do you see what an interesting person I am? Do you see how conflicted of an individual I truly am? I love Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Snowfall. Did you see that clip of the Snowfall? I like them both. So weird. This is why no woman can stay with me. I'm one way 1 minute and another way the next. I am on a never-ending quest.